Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Chimaza. I'm your tutor for Basic English. Welcome to the content and exam-based content classes. Welcome to the pre-qualification certificate, Policing Module 2, Basic English in particular. I'm your tutor for Basic English and I will mark your assignments as well as examination for this subject. I wish you all to be hardworking, dedicated, and self-driven students in this course. This presentation will cover the examination questions as well as the content for the Basic English. General guidelines on writing exams will be explained. Subject overview. This module serves as a firm foundation for the other modules. Throughout your career, you'll be required to describe events in English in your own words. Grammar refers to the study of or rules for forming words and combining them into sentences. These rules must be applied to enable you to express meaning. Punctuation marks can be seen as road signs. Just as these signs tell you when to slow down or stop, so punctuation tells you how a line should be read or understood. Always remember that if a punctuation mark is not doing anything useful, it should be avoided. Tenses are used to show which event or action come before others. The verb indicates the time of action. Combining sentences clarify meaning, groups related ideas together, and cancels unnecessary detail. Exit learning outcomes for this module. After studying this module, you'll be able to use the basic elements, parts or components of the English grammar, use punctuations, use the three basic tenses, that is the present tense, past tense, and the future tense. You should also be able to combine sentences. Let's quickly look at the examination questions. These examination questions are discussed as they appear on the tutorial letter for 2018. These are not the exact questions that are going to be in the examinations, but these are just guidelines, samples of what an examination question might look like. Here are the following questions. Question 1. Identify the following: countable noun, uncountable noun, abstract noun, proper noun, regular verb, personal pronoun, preposition, demonstrative pronoun. You are required to identify from the text these parts of speech. As you are studying, you will notice that there are 9 different parts of speech in English. So you need to be familiar with those nine parts of speech, know them, know their characteristics, as well as examples of all the 9 parts of speech, so that you can be able to answer a question like this. B. Write a summary of the passage above in your own words. Use at least 100 words using the right punctuation. You are also required to write down the main points for the text in a summary. Now, if you get a question like this, where you're supposed to write a summary, what you need to do is you need to note how many words are you supposed to write, and what exactly are you required to do in that particular summary. Some summaries will ask you for a specific detail in the passage. Some summaries will ask you just to summarize the whole text. So you need to be able to know what the summary is about. Question 2. Read the following text and underline the correct answers. When you get a question like this one, you're supposed to just read the text. You are going to get 2 answers, and what you need to do is to just underline the correct answer. Question 3. Rewrite the following passage, insert the appropriate punctuation marks, and correct the spellings or change of word where necessary to convey the passage meaning. What is to rewrite? That is to copy the passage again. Don't correct the passage that you are given. Rewrite the passage again in the correct way. Use correct punctuation marks. So basically what you need to do is, in your study, you need to master all the punctuation marks. How are they used? When are they used? What is the purpose of each and every particular punctuation marks? This includes capital letters when necessary. We all know that we write capital letters for proper nouns, we write capital letters when we are starting sentences, we write capital letters when we are abbreviating. So you need to pay attention to this. Also pay attention to spelling mistakes as well. When there is a spelling mistake, you need to correct that spelling. Question 4. Indicate whether the following sentences are true or false by marking an X on the answer of your choice. This is a common question where you are supposed to check whether the statement is true or it's false. So basically what you need to do is you put an X on your choice whether it's true or whether it's false. Please read the statements carefully and decide whether it's true or false, because some of the questions or some of the statements are slightly different to the correct one, or they are correct. So you need to pay attention when you're answering the true or false question. Question 5. Combine the following sentences. This is the part where you learn how to combine sentences. In the module, there is also a part of combining sentences. We combine sentences by using conjunctions. So you need to know which conjunctions to use when. What type of conjunction? How many conjunctions are there? Can they be used together or can they be used separately? So you join the sentences with the correct prepositions, or you join the sentences with the correct conjunctions, as I mentioned before. Abbreviate the following words correctly. So you know that when you're abbreviating, like I explained earlier, that you use capital letters. So look at the given words and abbreviate it in the correct manner. You can be asked also to write the following sentence in the past tense. What it means is you just change the verb tense to the past tense. You can also be asked to rewrite the sentences in the future tense or in the present tense. If that's the case, you change the verb tense from the future to the past, or from the present to the past, or from the present to the future, depending on whatever sentence you are given. You can also be asked to change the verb tense to the present tense. 5.6. Identify the tenses in the subject. In English grammar, we have the present tense, the past tense, the future tense, the present perfect tense, the past perfect tense, the future continuous, past continuous, present continuous. You need to know these tenses. Keep them in your head, because it doesn't matter which subject you are doing, you need to be able to master tenses so that you can answer the sentences correctly using the correct tense. So tenses are not going to apply only to English, it applies to all the subjects that you are going to be taking. Insert the appropriate apostrophes. Apostrophe is part of a punctuation mark, so you need to put correct apostrophes. Question 6. In this section, this is where you are asked to write an essay or an article. So an example of a question might be, mercy killing is about to be legalized in your country, and the police, as the legal department, is totally against this proposal. You need to write an article. Like I said, it can be an article, it can be a report. So in this particular question, you are required to write an article that will be placed in a newspaper expressing your police department's views. You can use the following in your arguments. Mercy killing is not only a crime but a sin. You don't have the right to take someone's life. It leads to hallucinations and it's not worth it. You need to use at least 200 words. So now these points that you are given, you are not restricted to only these points. You can expand, you can incorporate your own ideas as well. Now you need to pay attention to this following. Number 1, do not write more than 200, because it said use at least 200 words. You need to pay attention to your grammar, to your spelling, to your punctuation marks. You need to put your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. It should be written clearly. Okay, instructions and information to candidates, what you should do in this exam. Please provide sufficient answers, meaning don't write too little and don't write too much. Also check the mark allocation to determine the length of your answer. The importance of checking the mark allocation, it will also guide you whether you need to put a long answer or a short answer. And also when you check the mark allocation, it will also help you to manage your time, because you don't spend much time answering a question which is only going to give you 1 mark. Try by all means to use your own words and refer to your experience. Make sure your statements or ideas make sense of what you intend to say. Good luck with this examination. Do not hesitate to contact me should you experience some challenges in your studies. Here are my contact details: email address zabe.chim@yahoo.com, and my cell phone number is 0817 356 991.